When the famous actress Lu Nhyn confessed her feelings to me, her assistant, this trending idol standing right next to us just laughed out loud. Your pathetic little salary isn't even enough to buy her a pair of socks. She says she likes you, but you don't actually believe that, right? At the time, I actually did believe her, but I completely failed to realize that even while working right beside Lu Nhyn, we were still living in two entirely different worlds. Just to earn some money for my sick mom, I took a private modeling job for a photographer, but it leaked, and people started making up all sorts of nasty rumors to completely ruin me. That trending idol lost his necklace and instantly framed me for stealing it. Everyone just piled on, throwing even more insults my way. Lu Nhyn coldly mocked me just like the rest of them. She said if I needed money I could have asked her. Why do something so filthy and totally low class? I was suffering through a total nightmare. I stopped trying to explain myself right then, deleted all her contact info, tossed the promise bracelet she gave me straight into the river, and just walked away forever. Later on, I heard that always arrogant actress actually went completely insane. During a massive snowstorm, she jumped right into the freezing river just to find the bracelet her ex-boyfriend had thrown away. My necklace is missing, so you better hand it over right now, or I'm calling the cops on you. The trending idol Chuvi Sich had lost his fancy necklace. He stormed right up to my face and started yelling loudly. I just sat at my desk working, keeping a totally serious face. I told him I didn't take anything, and he should just call the cops. His tone was dripping with heavy sarcasm. That necklace is worth way more than a dozen of your pathetic private photo shoots. He asked, who else in this entire company would completely lose their morals just for some quick cash? Hearing that, my face instantly turned absolutely pale. Ever since this morning, I kept hearing people whisper awful things, calling me cheap for taking private photos, claiming I had shady TIs with older women, or saying I'd sell my pride for money. I was just about to defend myself, but watch this. Chuvi Sich suddenly pulls a small metal box right out of my locker. He yells for everyone to look, swearing his necklace is hidden inside. My heart completely dropped, and I rushed over in a panic. I told him not to touch it. It was the only thing my father left behind. Suddenly, with a huge crash, he slammed that metal box straight onto the floor. Old, yellowed photos spilled out everywhere. Chuvi Sich walked right up to my face before I even realized it. He stepped heavily on the photo with his leather shoes, grinding it back and forth. What now? He sneered, asking if my mom had so many men she needed a photo just to remember who my dad was. The entire office erupted into nasty laughter. Seeing my late father's only surviving picture getting carelessly trampled like that, the very last nerve in my brain just completely snapped. Entirely. I charged at him like a madman, raising my hand to slap Chuvi Sich across the face. But out of nowhere, someone grabbed my wrist tight from behind. My eyes were blazing red with absolute, pure fury. But the person holding me back was Lu Nhyn, the nationally famous actress and sadly my actual girlfriend. I felt completely heartbroken, whispering Nhyn's name softly. She picked up the ruined photo from the floor, shoved it into my hand, and gave Chuvi Sich a totally indifferent look. She told him she would just transfer him the money for the necklace. The entire crowd instantly started buzzing with non-stop whispers and suspicions. People muttered that they knew there was a good reason to go after me. By offering to pay, even Lu Nhyn was basically admitting that I really was a dirty thief. Someone whispered that taking weird photos to seduce rich older women was one thing, but they didn't expect my actual character to be completely rotten too. They even brought up my mother, joking that because of her massage job, our family had become a bunch of local celebrities. I bit my lip incredibly hard, pretending those cruel words didn't even exist, and looked straight into Lu Nhyn's eyes to seriously explain myself. Nhyn, I definitely didn't steal his necklace. You don't need to pay him back. Besides, he completely ruined my father's photograph and hasn't even bothered to apologize. Hearing that, Chuvi Sich looked incredibly annoyed and just let out a loud scoff. He claimed he initially didn't want to make a huge deal over a cheap little piece of jewelry, but since I was still running my mouth and actually demanding an apology from him, he wouldn't let it go. He called me a filthy hypocrite, saying a guy who takes naked photos for cash would gladly steal. Selling his necklace would easily fund my entire lazy lifestyle. If you didn't steal it, then who did? I screamed at him to stop framing me. I stated I never took any inappropriate photos, and I definitely didn't touch his necklace. I told him we should go check the security cameras right now. I actually grabbed Chu V-Sich's arm, trying to drag him straight to the security room to prove my innocence. But he just looked over at Lu Nhyn, acting completely wrong. He asked Nhyn if she actually thought he was making this up. Why would a wealthy idol like him bother framing a completely worthless assistant over some cheap jewelry? I fiercely argued back. Did they really think I'd ruin my life by stealing over a little cash? This is where it really hurts. Lu Nhyn finally grabbed my arm, completely cold. She gave me this awful, sarcastic smile and asked if I was done acting out. Did she really need to spell it out? The security cameras here have been broken for a while, so what exactly could we even check? She told me that if I needed money, I should have just asked her directly instead of stealing things or taking those totally indecent, disgusting photos. Didn't your mother ever teach you how to have some basic self-respect and love yourself? I quietly look up at her, suddenly catching that mocking, completely disgusted look in her eyes. My already tense nerves just snap completely, and all the color drains right out of my face. Somehow, just hits me. I suddenly remember back when Lu Nhyn actually confessed her feelings to me. Chu V-Sich had just laughed it off, saying my 3,000 income couldn't even buy her a single pair of socks. She said, "You think she actually likes you? You're not seriously believing that, right? You and her are basically existing in two completely different worlds. She's just curious about poor people. It's exactly like seeing some stray cat or dog and wanting to take it home just to play with. But a toy is still just a toy, thrown away whenever she gets bored. You wanna bet? Even though I'm not her boyfriend, if you and I ever clash, she's still going to pick me every single time. You ever believe in that naive stuff? I honestly used to think real love could ignore status, that a huge class difference didn't matter if two souls just deeply connected. But when things actually go wrong, this movie, Queen, Ray's completely spoiled by everyone around her. Only trusts people on her own high level. Looks like I just expected way too much. In her eyes, I really am just a toy, like a stray animal, or honestly, not even worth that much to her. I've heard that rich people's pets even get their own personal therapists, plus professional groomers taking care of their daily image. She doesn't care at all about my dignity or how wrongly I'm being treated. I look right at this beautiful, elegant movie queen, my eyes turning red. Am I supposed to thank you for helping me out like this? Lu Nhyn just frowns, a sharp, mocking look flashing in her eyes. I let out a bitter laugh, trying hard to push down the sheer pain twisting up inside me. Thank you. But as for my problems, I can handle them myself. I don't need to bother you. And I will never bother you again after today. Right after saying that, I glare straight over at Chu V-Sich standing nearby. If your stuff was stolen, then go ahead and call the cops. If I'm actually guilty, let the law punish me. As for you, try doing some good deeds for once. Karma doesn't care if you're rich or poor. Keeping my back perfectly straight, I leave the company, swallowing all my frustration on the way home. The second I get downstairs, I see a huge crowd gathered around. My completely private photos are plastered everywhere across the ground floor. Feeling the malicious stares of all my neighbors, I frantically run upstairs. A few guys holding cameras are standing right in front of my door. One of them actually whistles right at me when he sees my face. Well, here. Isn't this the big movie queen's famous boyfriend? Didn't expect you to have such a nice body. And your mom isn't half bad either. My expression instantly changes. I rush inside in total panic, and what I see is just sickening. A woman is sitting right on my mother, violently yanking her hair and ripping her clothes. She's about to be completely exposed. The people standing around just hold their cameras, constantly snapping photos and recording. My mom is entirely blind. She tightly clutches her completely torn clothes to her chest, miserably begging the cruel woman right in front of her to just let her go. And the woman sitting heavily on top of her. I recognize her. It's Tong Than, Chu Vo Sich's Jr. She's viciously hitting my mom while screaming like an absolute maniac. What kind of trash is your son to go around seducing others? That pathetic stench of poverty on you too makes me physically sick. Did your son learn to be such a parasite from an old hag like you? Today I'm going to strip you completely bare, so everyone can see exactly how you taught your boy to act. Mom, my eyes are practically shooting fire. I desperately want to rush over and save my mom, but someone violently trips me, and I slam hard into the dirt. Chu V Sich just laughs. His annoying laughter echoes in my ears, mocking me for being completely helpless. I honestly do not care how he broke into my house, and I ignore my busted forehead that is badly injured. Shoving past the pain, I fiercely push Tieng Then away and grab a bedsheet to quickly cover my mother. Tears blur my vision. Ever since we lost my hero of a dad, my brave mother never shed a tear. She actually learned to do blind massage. She opened a tiny home shop, facing down so much cruel gossip and totally endless daily hardship. She went through all of that just to raise me, absolutely refusing to cry. But right now she is completely terrified, her unseeing eyes overflowing with heavy, unstoppable tears. Her frail body trembles non-stop. She actually apologizes, asking softly, "Thang Nam Tin, did your mother somehow cause trouble for you today? Is it because I am useless that they look down on you?" I tell her, absolutely not. My eyes are practically burning as I glare at Chu V Sich, who looks completely unbothered. I scream that I'm calling the cops, and they will arrest him. Honestly, try to wrap your head around this. I only accepted a modeling gig to cover my mother's medical bills, yet they hate me intensely. What exactly did I do wrong? Chu V Sich took the exact same style of photos and got praised as a gorgeous idol. Meanwhile, they brand me as some kind of disgusting, vulgar, completely cheap escort. Now I'm completely framed as a thief. Hearing this, Chu V Sich just laughs out loud. You poor losers are so incredibly naive. What exactly did I do to get arrested? You stole my necklace and refused to return it, so I visited your lovely mother to collect it. Tell me, what is wrong with that? I am furious. I genuinely just want to tear him apart. Right at that exact moment, Chu V Sich's phone rings. It is a call from Lu Nhyn. He gives a quick, cold signal. Instantly, my mom and I are shoved hard into the dirt, filthy rags stuffed in our mouths to keep us completely silent. Then, he activates the loudspeakerphone. "Hello, Nhyn. What is going on?" Her voice sounds entirely calm on the other end. She tells him Thang Nam Tin is just poor and stubborn, begging him to go easy on me. How much was the necklace? I tell him I will buy a new one or pay the full original price. Chu V Sich sighs, saying he really does not want to make a big deal over just some simple necklace. But he claims I absolutely refuse to accept my mistake, which is why he completely lost his temper. He tells her she really does not need to pay him back, just make me apologize in person. His voice sounds so incredibly gentle, yet right as he says those exact words, he stomps his foot down hard on my head. "Alright," Lu Nhyn replies. She actually promises to make me apologize to him. So the issue stops right there. He hangs up the phone, and very shortly after, Lu Nhyn sends me a few new text messages. Chu V Sich reads the text for me, laughing non-stop. Then he stares at my totally pale face and tosses the phone right down in front of me. He told me a long time ago, the famous actress and him are the only ones on the same level. How could she ever truly care for a broke, pathetic guy like me? Especially when he claims I dared to take those inappropriate photos and completely ruined her public reputation. He actually says I should be thanking him. If he had not caused this huge mess today, forcing her to deal with my issues, she probably would have dumped me right then and there. Heavy silence falls. You can actually feel the total heartbreak here. I just stare at the WeChat messages, laughing and crying all at once. Tears keep dropping, and my heart torn apart, yet it feels ridiculously funny. Lu Nhin says V Sich has always been gentle and kind. She claims I must have provoked him, which is why he made things hard for me. She demands I give him a sincere apology so the necklace issue can finally end. No more throwing tantrums, she warns, or she will break up with me for good. Right then, that gentle Chu V Sich pulls the dirty rag out of my mouth, his eyes totally filled with pure, arrogant triumph. Thang Nam Tin, I know your mother is sick, he says. I can easily contact a suitable donor for you, and I can even give you the cash. Saying that, he just tosses a bank card right down in front of me. There is 1 million in this card, which is more than enough for your mother's kidney transplant surgery and 2 plane tickets to get far away. You just need to promise me you will absolutely never appear in front of Lu Nhin ever again. My forehead is still badly injured, my eyes filled with tears, but without any hesitation, I pick up the bank card from the floor and grip it tight. Fine, I agree. Chu V Sich's group finally leaves, leaving the entire house in absolute ruins. I block all of Lu Nhin's contact info. I try my hardest to force a smile. Mom, we finally have the money for your treatment now. Once you recover, our lives will get so much better. Her eyes look a little empty, but she still gently rubs my head with care. You silly boy, I heard everything. It is all my fault. I ruined your reputation, made your girlfriend misunderstand you, and forced you to make deals with terrible people for my sake. I hug her incredibly tight, biting my arm hard until it severely hurts, swallowing down every single bit of the humiliation and oppression I endured, smiling while the tears keep falling. That is absolutely not true at all. A guy can have many girlfriends, but he only ever gets one mother. Having you is more than enough for me. My mom hugs me back tightly, not saying another word. The very next day, I wake up early to handle returning our rented house. My mom needs to go to a major hospital for her surgery. I do not plan on keeping this place at all. I will just rent a house closer to the hospital later. But before I even make it back home, the neighbor aunt stops me with tears in her eyes. Thang Nam Tin, something terrible happened, she says. Your poor mother is gone. Being completely blind, she stumbled to the exact riverbank where my father once saved someone. And tragically, she let the deep water sweep her away. The local police eventually found her far down in the lower stream. She left me one final letter, holding just a single crooked line of text. I am going to find your father, it read. Little Bo, you must live your own life now. Do not carry my heavy burden as you move forward. I completely collapsed to the ground, absolutely unable to even cry anymore. I have officially become an orphan. I handle my mother's final arrangements in total numbness, and I ask someone to return that bank card back to Chu V Sich. While sitting on the plane, I toss the bracelet Lu Nhin gave me right into the river below. From then on, completely vanish from the capital, never contacting anyone ever again. I live entirely alone for 5 years, opening a little flower shop in Vietnam. But watch how crazy fate really is. Due to a tourism promotion, a variety show is filming here. Every single business owner on the street must actively cooperate with the busy production team. While I am arranging flowers, Sister Turng from the hot pot shop next door suddenly calls me. Thang Nam Tin, she says. My child was just hospitalized today. The film crew is shooting at my shop today. Could you please help me look after the guests for a bit? I completely agree. Right as I step to the hot pot doors, the director completely blocks my path. This time, we are making super spicy hot pot to create dramatic effects for the show. Boss, you also have to eat with them. I politely decline. Sorry, director, I am not great at eating spicy food. Just cooperate a bit, the director insists. You do not need to eat much. When the hot pot is finally brought out, the entire thing is loaded with pure ghost peppers. The first guest arriving at the shop is the singer K Chiang Yin Phai. She looks at my face and just laughs. Boss, eat with us, she says playfully, or maybe we can just make it a half and half pot instead. I quietly let out a sigh of relief. Before I can even say thank you, An icy cold voice suddenly echoes from outside. Kei Eng Yin Fi. I freeze instantly, tilting my head to look. The person standing right outside is actually the top actress, Lu Nhyn, looking incredibly tall and elegant. She is never the type of person to just greet someone first. Kei Yin Fi immediately walks over. Movie Queen Lu. Are you really the second one to arrive again? But Lu Nhyn completely ignores her, staring straight at me instead. Chu V-sich quietly steps right in front of Lu Nhyn. He totally blocks her view and sneers. Never expected to see you here, Thang Nam Tin. Did you come to chase some quick fame? Leak scandalous private photos to beg a rich lady for sponsorship? Or are you getting ready to steal something else while you are at it? As soon as he says that, the whole place goes dead silent. The smiles on the crew and guests completely freeze, and the way they look at me shifts. It is like that nightmare from my past is playing out all over again. The neighbors around us actually speak up to defend me. Do not think just because you are a public figure you can make things up. Thang Nam Tin is not that kind of person. Chu V-sich just looks at me. Thang Nam Tin, do you remember? I once helped your aunt record some pretty interesting little videos. In the past, he used hurting my mom to control me, but now I'm all alone. So I'm absolutely not scared of him anymore. I do not remember, I reply, smiling back at him. On the contrary, what about you, Chu V-sich? Whether your necklace was actually lost or not, do you not know the real truth? But before I even get an answer, watch this. Lu Nhyn marches straight over and grabs my wrist tight. Thang Nam Tin. It has been a long time. I try to shift to another spot, doing everything I can to get as far away from her as possible, but her hand just squeezes my wrist even tighter. Her voice sounds just a bit hoarse as she asks Thang Nam Tin, do you not have anything you want to explain to me? I just look up at her. Nothing. Lu Nhyn pauses for a second, then finally lets go. In the past, I did not trust you, and that was my mistake. I finally got to hear this apology, but honestly, it is way too late for that now. That kind of delay does not even matter to me anymore. I casually remind her the show is about to start filming right now. Please keep your distance from me, Movie Queen Lu. I do not want to cause any more trouble. She tries to say something else, but the director signals to start. Seeing the staff bring out the split hot pot, Chu V-sich gives me this fake little smirk, looking half joking and half serious. What is wrong with the directing team? Did they not say this was an all-spicy hot pot feast? Why did we order the split pot? Both Lu Nhyn and he know perfectly well that I cannot handle spicy food. So I know he is purposely trying to make things hard for me. Lu Nhyn stands nearby without saying a word, her expression kind of heavy as she just quietly stares right at me. Kei Yin Fi smiles and quickly explains we do not need to eat anything too hardcore. A split pot is great, since the boss here cannot handle spicy stuff. Chu V-sich pretends to look super surprised. Thang Nam Tin has such a great body, six-pack abs, nice curves. I really thought you would be great at eating chilies. As he talks, he starts digging through his phone. I remember. I still have those photos saved right here. Do you want to see them? I really do not want things to get too awkward, so I try to speak in a relaxed but firm way. Let us go with spicy hot pot then. Kei Yin Fi laughs from the side. Wow, I had no idea you two knew each other. I really thought the boss could not eat spicy food at all. Is this not just a big misunderstanding then? Alright, bring out the spicy hot pot. Lu Nhyn keeps her eyes fixed firmly on me and slowly speaks up. Lately, my stomach has been hurting, so I cannot eat much spicy food. A flash of pure suspicion instantly appears across Kei Yin Fi's face. Because Lu Nhyn is super famous in the industry as an absolute spice addict. Just earlier, at another filming location, she was devouring some incredibly spicy dishes with absolutely no problem at all. Only a few minutes pass and her stomach hurts. She awkwardly apologizes to the waitstaff. Then we will just stick with the split pot. Chu Visich shoots me this look of absolute, undisguised hatred. He walks right over to me, sits directly in the chair by my side, and gives me this sickly sweet smile. Old friend, let me serve you a good meal. Notice what he does next. As we start dipping, he pushes the spicy side right at me, constantly dunking veggies and smiling while dropping them in my bowl. This tourism promo shoot is actually incredibly important for the entire small town's future. I cannot let my personal grudges delay the filming. So, I just grit my teeth and quietly swallow every single spicy thing Chu Visich puts on my plate. I force myself to swallow all the food he tosses into my bowl. My stomach feels like a burning hot coal was just thrown inside, churning with this absolutely terrifying, burning pain. I hold back the cold sweat forming on my forehead, trying hard to force a smile for the camera as I introduce the local customs, explaining the small town's traditions to the audience. As I speak, my voice is trembling. Because I am enduring so much pain, I get a little dizzy for a second. I do not even know when the show finished filming, just know that afterwards, my whole vision gets completely blurry. I stand up, shaking, my stomach knotting up, and hurriedly rush straight toward the restroom. Suddenly, someone grabs my arm firmly from behind. I try to shake them off twice, but it is no use. I turn around and see this blurry, slender figure swaying right in front of my eyes. The woman does not let go, and she stays completely silent. I struggle just to speak up. Please, let me go. But the woman still does not move a muscle or say a single word. I seriously cannot take this anymore, so I desperately try to explain. I really have to go. Before I can even finish, that person's warm palm suddenly slides up from my arm and presses right against the back of my neck. That incredibly familiar feeling instantly snaps my mind awake. Almost immediately, it hits me. Over 7 years ago, right after Lu Nhyun and I started dating, we had our first fight, and I threw a fit, eating several bags of super spicy snacks. I was crying from the heat, feeling completely sick. Lu Nhyun just smiled gently. She pressed her palm against my neck, brought warm milk to my lips, and slowly helped me drink. I have no idea what is happening right now. My eyes suddenly start burning, and stomach acid rushes straight up my throat. I get this really bad feeling. Instinct kicks in, and I rush to push her away. But the woman refuses to let go. Instead, she holds my neck, turning me right toward her. I absolutely cannot hold it back anymore. I throw up everywhere. The incredibly harsh spice completely chokes me, causing violent coughing fits. Most of the mess lands right on her clothes. Getting that out actually clears my head halfway. Taking a deep breath, I look up. Lu Nhyun is standing there, completely covered in stains, still holding that warm glass of milk. I look down, mumble an apology, and turn around to run. She just lets out a soft sigh, takes off her outer coat, and throws it aside without hesitation. She calls out my name, Thang Nam Tin. Lu Nhyun chases me, grabbing my arm, saying she is taking me to the hospital. I just push her hand away. I tell her no, I just need to go home and rest. She completely ignores me, grabs me again, and pulls me straight into her car. I frantically try to open the door and get out, but it is already locked from the inside. Lu Nhyun drags me to the hospital for a stomach scope and a full medical exam. The test results come back fast. Aside from some slight stomach irritation from the hot pot, my body is completely fine and healthy. I take the initiative to ask how much her jacket costs so I can pay her back. Lu Nhyun freezes for a second, then mutters it is nothing expensive. 3 whole years apart, and the massive gap between Lu Nhyun and me feels even wider. I check the prices her fashion fans posted online and quiet down. Pay close attention here. Just that single jacket alone costs enough to buy a small house with a garden right here in this totally remote little town. This inherent class divide between us is something that just cannot ever be crossed. Holding onto my last shred of pride and dignity, I stubbornly transfer the hospital fees to her account. With the exam finished, I grab my bag and walk right out. Lu Nhyun hurries out, chasing right after me. Right now, This glamorous A-list actress, who always demands total cleanliness, is completely covered in nasty stains. Yet she ignores everything and follows me anyway. This completely shatters the image I always used to have of her. I call out to the great actress. She looks genuinely confused about why I would use such a formal title, telling me to just call her NHYN instead. I stand there stunned for a second, totally failing to understand what this woman actually wants. I politely ask her what on earth she came looking for me for. Back when you left, we never officially broke up. Lu NHYN watches my expression closely and carefully says it again, we never actually broke up. Thang Nam Tin. It takes me a long moment to finally process what she just said. What an incredibly strange thing to say. No contact for years basically implies a silent breakup, right? I tell her really do not understand, so we should just end it now. Before I can even finish, Lu NHYN completely loses her composure, loudly refusing. We just lock eyes for a long time, totally silent. After a while, Lu NHYN slowly speaks up, asking when it would be convenient for her to visit my aunt. She says she actually misses my aunt's sweet and sour ribs. I just clench my fists tight, completely speechless. Seeing me stay quiet, she tries to smooth over the awkwardness. She tells me it is fine if it is inconvenient, she will just come bother me later on. I give her a very distant nod and quickly walk away. This is the exact woman who once made my heart race with just a single glance. No matter how much time passes, I really cannot forget that old fluttering feeling. But honestly, racing heart means absolutely nothing anymore. In this relationship, all the deep pain I had to endure is something that will never fade. Walking back into my little house, filled with blooming flowers, I stare up at my parents' photo on the wall, and the tears just start falling uncontrollably. Now, this is where it hits hard. Feeling strangely masochistic, I boot up my computer to watch the reality show Lu NHYN is currently filming right now. The live chat section is just completely flooded with dedicated shippers of Lu NHYN and Chu V-Sich. Their on-screen interactions are incredibly intimate, and their chemistry is absolutely fantastic. They genuinely look like the most perfect match in the entire world. Even when Chu V-Sich talks directly to Lu NHYN, his tone is always incredibly soft. He draws out the ends of his words, adding this cute little flirtatious vibe. I shut the laptop, sit back in my rocking chair, and laugh bitterly. In the end, she and I are from completely different worlds. Sister Tung, the restaurant owner who knows I felt wrong, brings over some fruit to visit my place. She looks a bit curious and asks if I actually know those two huge celebrities, wondering what kind of relationship I have with that famous actress. I tell her it just used to be her assistant. Sister Tung sounds pretty surprised, saying she never expected I had actually hustled in the entertainment industry before. She admits she actually thought I used to date that famous actress. I just reply calmly, telling her she is definitely overthinking things. How could an ordinary guy like me ever be with major stars like that? Sister Tung absent-mindedly chatters away while helping me water the garden flowers. She agrees, noting how men and women in showbiz are way too complicated. She says we normal people should just find an honest woman to build a proper family with. She promises to treat me to boiled chicken next time. Since I helped eat all those spicy peppers today, I just give a small nod. Fine, we have to eat at the spot by the village entrance then. Sister Trong laughs out loud. You really have good taste. I wrap up a bouquet of yellow roses and hand them over. Sister Trong takes the flowers, heading home with a smile. The second she leaves, the yard goes dead silent again. Standing right at the gate, I spot a Bentley parked perfectly under the ginkgo tree just down the road. And there she is. I am looking at Liu Ruyan once again. I rub my eyes, but she is still standing right there. It makes absolutely no sense. She should not know where I live. She walks straight toward me like a kid caught making a mistake, her voice sounding just a bit choked up. Thang Nam Tin, she says. I do not want to break up. I love you. Hearing those words, I honestly just feel totally calm. Liu Ruyan, you do not love me, you just hate losing. That is not true, Thang Nam Tin. I am a grown adult, so of course, I know the actual difference between real love and just being stubborn. Ever since you walked away, I have been searching for you for years. Do you realize I never even liked filming those reality shows? Do you know who actually pitched this tiny town to the director? I never once even considered the thought of breaking up with you. Not back then, and definitely not now. About Chu Wuxing framing you back in the day. She does not even get to finish before I cut her off cold. Did you not already know that Necklace had issues from the very start? You just hated losing face, hated the drama, and wanted a fast fix. Your gut said Chu Wuxing had no reason to frame me, and I really was dead broke. But it never crossed your mind to actually trust me. You never considered that even though I was poor, I never once lied to you. Liu Ruyan just stands there, totally frozen. She clearly wants to explain herself, mouth opening slightly, but no words actually come out. Right at this exact moment, she finally gets it. The massive gap between us is not just some tiny little misunderstanding. Seeing me stay totally quiet, she starts panicking a little bit. Thang Nam Tin, please, can we just not break up? Maybe the wind is blowing too hard, but my eyes start burning. Liu Ruyan, my mom is gone. I am literally just a normal guy trying to live. Could you please stop messing around with me? I am not messing around. I just let out a cold laugh. Right, you did absolutely nothing. When your fans framed and destroyed me, you just watched. When Chu Wuxing dragged his goons to my house and bullied my mom, you did nothing then either. But Liu Ruyan, every single piece of this traces right back to you. Just let me go. She goes completely quiet, the edges of her eyes turning red. She just stands there, staring at me for a long time before slowly forcing out one word, fine. And just like that, my peaceful life returns. Reading books, growing flowers. This is honestly the quiet life I always wanted. But then one day, I accidentally spot Chu Wuxing near a film set. I have not seen him in days, and he looks incredibly thin. He is gripping his phone, hands shaking uncontrollably. Are you really sure you want to treat me like this? You're not worried I might just burn everything down with me? I just loved you way too much. Whoever is on the line says something wild. Chu Wuxing gets this truly vicious look, violently smashing his phone right into the dirt. Early the very next morning, a flower shop barely opens when Chu Wuxing fiercely storms in with a whole group of thugs. He looks exactly like his old arrogant self. Chu Wuxing roars in total anger. My entire acting career is completely ruined. And it is all because of you, you piece of trash. On his command, the whole gang starts ripping my flower shop apart. In just a matter of seconds, the entire place is an absolute wrecked mess. Chu Wuxing fully expects me to act like last time, dropping to my knees and begging. But I just stand there, watching him in absolute silence. Right now, I am completely alone. I do not have a single weakness left to exploit, so I do not fear him. He slowly steps closer, his voice sounding absolutely broken. Was it you? Did you seriously go and tell Liu Ruyan about what happened back then? She actually hired lawyers to sue me, and track down the thugs who helped me before. If this blows up any bigger, my entire life is completely over. I cut him right off. So when you ruined someone else's life, did you honestly never think karma would come back to bite you like this? The nearby neighbors hear all the smashing and instantly run over, grabbing their brooms to help me out. Even the old guy who plays chess under the ginkgo tree rushes over, stepping right in front of me. What are you all trying to do? He yells. I am 80 years old. You touch me even once, and I am dropping straight to the ground. You thugs better not do anything stupid right now. Chu Wuxing stares in pure disbelief. I am a massive star, he screams. All you filthy punks need to get out of my way right now. Sister Trong puts her hands on her hips, yelling right back. I do not care if you are a star, nobody gets to bully our Thang Nam Tin. Just as the shouting match is about to completely explode, watch who shows up. The police rush in. And when I look up, Liu Ruyan is standing quietly just down the street. She walks over, looking at me, then at the loud crowd defending my shop. It really looks like you found the perfect place for your life, she says softly. Liu Ruyan's voice is completely full of heavy regret about what happened before. I really did not know the truth, but it is not that I did not believe you. I just wanted to fix the problem quickly, and completely ignored your feelings. I always stubbornly thought my way of loving you was right, but I never actually stopped to think about what you truly needed. She gently hands me this big paper bag. Inside is the little knitted teddy bear, the exact one I used to annoy her about making for me after seeing it online. She says she knows I wanted this for years, and after thinking it over, decided to give it to me. I just take the gift, completely numb, saying absolutely nothing. She turns around a bit rushed, ready to leave. She murmurs that she is heading out now, and probably will not bother me ever again after this. Right as she is about to get into her car, she suddenly pauses. She speaks up again, reminding me about my last checkup with the stomach inflammation. Even though things seemed fine, she tells me to eat less spicy food and take better care of my health. Then she hesitates, likely realizing she really has no right to say these things anymore. She stops right in the middle of her sentence, gets in, and drives off. I just stand there holding that incredibly late gift, watching her car fade into the distance for a very long time before finally turning back inside. Suddenly, my entire heart feels completely and wonderfully light. That old romance from a few years back feels completely, truly let go in this exact moment. My heart will not waver anymore, and I am never looking back. But get this, Chu Vo-sich actually gets himself arrested, inciting others to commit crimes, totally ruining reputations, and spreading vicious fake rumors. With all those heavy charges stacked together, the guy happily receives a solid 10 years behind bars. As for me and the friendly neighbors around here, we are busy preparing for National Day. Every family cooks a few dishes and brings them over to my little yard, getting ready to watch war movies while enjoying delicious food. The neighbors laugh and chat joyfully. A few older folks even try setting me up on dates. Sister Trong puts her hands on her hips, telling everyone to stop fighting over me. She claims I am the son-in-law she picked out long ago. Uncle Lai points at the little toddler wearing pants with a torn bottom right nearby, teasing her for picking way too early. Everyone bursts out laughing together. I once again truly feel that wonderful warmth of a real family. Around here, absolutely no one cares about your past actions or whatever wild rumors are floating around out there. They only believe in the actual person they interact with and know personally. Later, while watching the news, I find out Lu Nu-yen had an accident filming abroad. She unfortunately fell right off a cliff and is still lying in the hospital right now. But me, I react just like any normal viewer, casually scrolling past that breaking news and simply moving straight to the very next video. Faint waves of floral scent drift by, signaling the season where osmanthus flowers bloom everywhere. The sunlight is incredibly beautiful, and my little flower shop is showing off its brilliant colors. I arranged the fresh flowers while playing a classic tune by Duong Thien Hoa. Even if the world disapproves and logic fails, you still invest your whole heart, feeling no pain at all, just like chasing after a fleeting dream. The old me used to think love could overcome countless hardships, so I just rushed right in, relying purely on burning passion to love her with everything I had. Now, I finally understand, the only person truly worth loving is simply myself. I have to be even stronger moving forward, learning to fully love my own soul, in every single tomorrow.